Guards are on their way to Alistair's cell room after Ike invades the prison. Alistair puts a knife next to Ike's neck and tells him to answer whether he's a human or a demon. She tells Ike to stop and Ike takes this quite literally and makes everything freeze and stop moving. Alistair is confused, wondering if time has stopped, to which Ike tells him that he has dulled their senses. Ike blows away 2 guards on his way out and throws another big guard down but saves him using his magic. Alistair wonders as to why a demon is saving humans. Just then, Alistair falls as well, but Ike saves her from falling and introduces himself as commander of Demon Lord's 7th Army Corps Undying Brigade. Alistair wonders if he's the same guy who saved Avalia's with overwhelming power and caused her to get punished by his superiors. Ike tells him he surely can't be a human since he's a commander in Demon Lord's army, but little does she know that the strongest mage in the Demon Lord's army is a human. Ike then asks her if she sent an assassin to kill him, but she refuses to reply since she is loyal to her kingdom, the same kingdom that is punishing her for losing a battle against Avalia's. Ike then gets close to her and looks deep into her eyes to read her mind. Just then, Lilith comes and finds Ike close to another girl and thinks that Ike is flirting with another human woman. She, being possessive as always, starts disturbing and annoying Ike. After reading her mind, Ike finds out that Alistair has nothing to do with the assassination and tells his human enemy to take it easy on herself and not be so hard. On their way back, Lilith, being horny as always, asks Ike if he wants to be at some place alone so they can have fun, but Ike, being the Sigma he is, ignores and refuses her. Ike then comes back home and gives Sati her maid a bag full of rice. It's Sati's first time looking at rice. Ike then tells her that rice is highly productive this season and requires less labor to look after it, and because of this they can now have more people who can be chefs, so in this way, they will have more food and taxes as well. When Sati inquires him about cooking rice, he replies saying that all he knows is first low then high and to not remove the lid even if the baby's crying. Bro is literally talking about a pressure cooker at this point, but Sati understands nothing of what he says and replies that it sounds more like a spell. Ike then orders his assistant Jiran to bring all the demon army under his command to gather. Upon gathering the army, Ike then uses his mind-reading spell on a huge scale, which makes Jiran amazed and simp for his master even harder. Ike finds the goblin mole using his spell and gets to know that the betrayer is Jace the one-eyed goblin. He then heads to Sphero, her senior demon, who's naked in her bathtub as they talk. He gets shy and tells her that the mole is Jace, the second in command of the 7th Corps. He says that Jace is a highly intelligent and a veteran warrior. On the other hand, Jace is informed by his goblin spies that Ike knows everything, and he tells Sphero as well. Bro is in a panic when Ike comes to meet him alone. He makes fun of Ike, saying it is dumb of him to be alone and that his goblins are going to kill him. Just then Sphero intercepts and rains hell among his city and army and tells her army to kill every single weak goblin. Ike is pissed off at Sphero because she always causes more destruction than required and doesn't think about the repairs. When Ike intercepts Jace, he tells his army to attack Ike while he escapes. He escapes the city using a magical portal and thinks that he is safe for now and that he will take revenge later on, but Ike catches him. Ike gets him struck next to a tree using his binding magic. Ike then tells him to surrender, but Jace refuses and proposes he join them and retaliate against the demon lord Darokuten since she spares humans and doesn't let the demons kill all the humans as they wish. Ike, being a human, refuses as usual, and just then Sphero comes to punish him as well and interrogates him to know the main mole that is behind all this. Jace is already dying because he is poisoned by his comrades, and Sphero and Ike use this reason to their benefit and get the information out of him. Jace then dies, and Ike and Sphero are amazed by the fact that his comrades poisoned him. Sphero and Ike then go to the demon lord Darokuten and tell him that the person behind this is the head of 3rd Corps, Basteo. The kawaii demon lord asks for proof, so Sphero tells him regarding Jace, who was the second in command at the 3rd Corps, and how he tried to kill them. Darokuten then asks Basteo, who is standing there behind Sphero and Ike. After Jace's death, Ike and Sphero head to the demon lord's chamber to report the situation. They accuse Basteo of wrongdoing. Just as they finish snitching against Basteo, the demon lord, Darokuten, confronts Basteo, noting the difference between their statements. Basteo lies, saying that they got rid of his vice leader Jace to frame him and weaken his position. Basteo says that the witch Sphero wants to strip away the 3rd Legion from him. Sphero gets angry and is about to whoop his ass when Darokuten stops her. Darokuten then explains to Basteo that demons become greedier with more power and reveals she is aware of his schemes. She acknowledges Sphero's loyalty but criticizes her for leadership failures that led to the problem. The demon lord decides that both parties will face consequences but stops short, noting that with the ongoing war against humans, losing 2 generals would be unwise. Instead, she proposes a duel to resolve the matter between the 2 demons. In their room, Sphero informs Ike that they will use puppet soldiers for the duel, with the representative commander controlling them instead of participating directly. Ike is puzzled by the unusual duel, but Sphero explains that the demon lord likely wants to assess their leadership skills. Sphero tells Ike that a proxy is allowed and that he will act as her proxy in the duel. Ike gets surprised and panics, to which Sphero reassures him, saying he is a better leader than she is. She takes his hand hand and says her life is in his hands. Ike then heads to the duel location with his assistant, Jiran. He comments on Sphero's eccentricity. Inside, they inspect the puppet soldiers and Jiran gets scared of the puppets because he's a wimp like you guys. Ike then explains to Jiran that the commander will control the puppet soldiers. At home, Ike contemplates an effective strategy for the duel when is made. Sati enters the room. He asks if she's ever been in a similar situation. She responds that she's never been in a fight but, when pressed, admits she would use a broom if she had to. Ike, serious and focused on his planning, gains wisdom from Sati's comment. He concludes that a long-distance attack is key to winning. Aware that the opponent might think similarly, he considers other options. Sati casually mentions that crossbows are quite strong, sparking Ike's idea to arm his puppet soldiers with guns. He explains their power to Sati. He then heads over to Sphero, who is also a powerful alchemist. Sphero is chilling in the pool while Ike keeps yapping about the guns. Sphero throws some water on him, saying that she is not a god and that he should chill. Meanwhile, Basteo spies inform him that the leader of the Immortal Brigade will participate in the duel. Basteo, wielding a sword made from a dark dragon's teeth, instructs his slave to craft similar swords for his entire puppet army. Another goblin approaches Basteo, assuring him of their soon-to-come victory. Back at home, Ike finishes showering and is only wearing a towel when Demon Lord Darokuten unexpectedly appears. She hands him the guns, asking if this is what he wants. Panicked, Ike worries that the Demon Lord has seen him without his disguise and denies being Ike. Darokuten calmly reveals she knows he's a human, as his master Romberg had told her everything. Ike is puzzled about why she kept him in the army. She explains that she needs someone to help her achieve her goals, as her immense strength alone isn't enough. Ike and Sphero then start making bullets together. Sphero accidentally creates oversized bullets and complains they're bothering her skin. At that moment, Ike's assistant, Fiorentina, arrives. Ike had tasked her with making gunpowder. She asks what the powder is for, and Ike explains that it's gunpowder, which propels bullets at high speed when ignited. Sphero, being sensitive and lazy, passes her bullet-making task to Fiorentina, who accepts it without complaint. The next day, Basteo and Ike prepare for the duel. Basteo laughs at Ike's seemingly defenseless puppet soldiers, boasting that the Demon Lord wants him to win since she provided him with Damascus steel armor for all his puppets. Ike remains calm and doesn't respond to Basteo's taunts. The duel begins, and Basteo initially believes victory is certain as Ike's soldiers appear defenseless and are quickly being eliminated. However, the tide turns when Ike's last remaining puppet soldiers open fire, destroying all of Basteo's remaining forces and securing victory. Basteo struggles to accept his defeat. The Demon Lord presents Basteo with two options: kill himself with honor or be executed by her. At that moment, one of Basteo's treacherous slaves shoots an arrow at the Demon Lord. She catches it effortlessly but then realizes it's rigged with an explosive which explodes. The arena erupts into chaos, transforming into a war zone as Basteo's army starts attacking everyone. Basteo laughs maniacally, declaring himself the new Demon Lord.